A young detective finished speaking with a lady on the verge of suicide and believed he had done a good job in convincing her not to carry on with her plan. After speaking with her, the detective leaves the building. Shortly after stepping out of the building, he hears a loud thud as the lady's body drops in front of him to his utmost shock. Walter's quiet life working in animal control takes a dark and irreversible turn after one fatal mistake. On the day of his birthday, Walter gets sent on a mission to neutralize a stray dog in a Chinese man's establishment by his coworker, Sybil. During the course of carrying out the task, Walter gets distracted by the name on the dog's tag when he gets bitten by the dog, which runs away soon after. In a bid to chase after and capture the dog, night falls, and Walter arrives late to meet up with his baker wife at her shop, leading to an important decision made by her that will change his life. While waiting for her husband after the day's work, Agatha's eyes wander to the bookstand right outside her shop. As she goes through the books, a particular one, titled The Number 23, catches her attention. She starts flipping through it when Walter arrives and shows her injuries from the dog attack. She suggests that he read the book in her hands. He avoids it by telling her he would rather wait for the movie to come out. They head over to Isaac, Agatha's friend's place to celebrate Walter's birthday. When the couple arrives, they're warmly received, celebrate together, and finally return home, exhausted but happy after the day's events. Inside, Walter's son Robin gives him his birthday gift, says goodnight, and heads upstairs. A few minutes later, Walter's attention is caught by the book his wife bought him earlier, and he picks up and starts to read from the first chapter, where a character called Fingerling is introduced. Fingerling makes it known that the name isn't his real one, but a name that was gotten from a book that he had read as a child. The next day, Walter visits his office, and his officer dismisses him and grants him the entire day off. Back at home, Walter picks up the book again and continues the story about Fingerling from the second chapter. In the book, Fingerling makes it clear that he excelled in his class as a child because he recognized that education was the best way out for him. He adds that he didn't want to be anything like his father, who was an accountant and expected him to take over the family business. On his 8th birthday, Fingerling says he wants to be a detective, upsetting his dad. One day, following the dog, Fingerling crossed over to the widow's yard for the first time and into her house. When he gets upstairs, he sees the widow dead in her bed with blood on the sheets. When medics arrive on the scene, they conclude that it was a suicide, which Fingerling does not believe. From that moment, a detective is born in him. While Walter still reads the book, Agatha comes down to the basement to look for him. Walter asks her if she has read the book, to which she responds positively. Walter tells his wife that Fingerling reminds him of his life, as it feels the book is like his childhood. Agatha lets Walter know that Fingerling is nothing like him. Walter picks up the book again and flips open a page that shows the picture of a lady called Fabrizia, who happens to be the love interest of Detective Fingerling. The day goes by quickly, and on the next day, Walter picks up the book and continues from the 5th chapter, where Detective Fingerling meets the suicidal girl who is high up in a building, planning on killing herself. When Fingerling arrives on the scene, he is warned by the girl not to come any closer, or else she will hang herself. He convinces her to remove the noose so they can talk, and she tells Fingerling that the number 23 is controlling her life and ruining everything she does. Fingerling tells her a story to prevent her from killing herself. After believing he's done a good job of dissuading her, Fingerling exits the building and hears a loud thud in front of him. Fingerling takes Fabrizia to the scene of death and inside the building. Fingerling notifies that as the pages fell off the wall, he saw the full scope of her obsession with the number 23 as she reduced everything in her life to 23. As the book begins to bother Walter greatly, he takes it to a library and inquires about the author, only to find out nothing about him or any other book written by him. Later in the day, when Agatha and Robin return home, Walter begins to display to them his growing obsession with the book and the number 23. Walter continues to read.
1197. Isn't that amazing?
Have you finished the book?
Not yet.
Fingerling confesses that the number 23 has taken hold of his mind, poisoning his sleep with violent nightmares, visions where he murders Fabrizia. The obsession starts to show, and Agatha senses something is deeply wrong. Fearing for Walter's sanity, she turns to her old friend Isaac. When Walter finally confronts Isaac himself, he admits the book is unraveling him. Isaac offers a chilling explanation. The number 23 thrives on paranoia, feeding on those who look too closely. Then he delivers the worst possible advice. If Walter wants answers, there's only one way forward. He has to finish the book.
Finish the book.
While continuing with his reading, night after night, Fingerling dreams of killing Fabrizia over and over again. The visions haunt him so deeply that he's forced to confess them to the department psychiatrist, Dr. Miles. Miles recommends Fingerling step away from duty, a decision Fingerling accepts and reluctantly shares with a furious Fabrizia. After she storms out, the truth finally settles in. The number 23, the same force that destroyed a young girl's life, is coming for him next. Fingerling recalls Dr. Miles once offering to help him talk to Fabrizia about the obsession, before betraying him and beginning an affair with her. And the moment Walter reads this, the past snaps into place. Isaac had offered the same help with Agatha. The realization hits hard. Paranoia floods in. Walter can't shake the fear that history is repeating itself and that he's already trapped inside the same pattern. Walter dreams that Agatha is lying dead beside him. When he jolts awake, the fear doesn't fade. It hardens into certainty. He can't stay, not if he wants to keep her safe. Walter writes Agatha a letter, promising he just needs one night to clear his head, then leaves for a hotel. At the desk, he's handed the key to room 23. Inside, alone, he opens the book again. In chapter 22, Fingerling finally kills Fabrizia and frames Dr. Miles for the murder. When Walter turns the page, the story ends. Nothing but blank paper staring back at him. No answers. No explanation, just silence. Then a sound breaks through his thoughts, a dog barking outside. Walter pulls back the blinds and freezes. It's the same dog from his birthday, the one that led him down this path in the first place. And suddenly, he knows this isn't a coincidence. It never was. Walter grabs his tranquilizer gun and runs after the dog. It leads him through the night and into a graveyard. When the dog stops, Walter fires one dart, and the animal collapses unconscious. Moments later, a reverend rushes over, demanding to know why Walter shot his dog. As they talk, the reverend points out the tombstone they're standing beside and explains who's buried there. That's when it hits Walter. The realization is chilling. The book isn't fiction. It never was. These aren't stories. They're confessions. Walter races home and tells Agatha and Robin the truth. The book describes the real murder of a young girl named Laura, the same name carved into the grave he just left. And the pattern leads to one man, Jacob Flinch, a convicted killer already behind bars. The book isn't prophecy. It's Flinch's twisted confession, and Walter has been living inside it. Walter visits the prison alongside Agatha and Robin to confront the man accused of Laura's murder. But after speaking with Flinch, a chilling realization sets in. Flinch didn't kill Laura. The truth is still out there, and so is the real killer. Outside the prison walls, Robin reveals a crucial detail. While reading the book the night before, he noticed an address printed on the back, an address that could belong to the author themselves. It's a long shot, but it's the only lead they have left. Together, they devise a risky plan. Send 23 identical packages to the address, forcing whoever lives there to reveal themselves. The next day, Walter and his family wait in silence, watching the building from across the street, tension hanging thick in the air. Then, finally, a man arrives to collect the deliveries. As he inspects the packages, Walter, Agatha, and Robin step inside and confront him, letting him know the game is over. The man turns, terror flooding his face. He locks eyes with Walter and utters 3 haunting words: "You should be dead." Then he bolts. Walter gives chase, finally tackling him to the ground. But before a single answer can be pulled from him, the man slits his own throat. Walter is left frozen in horror.
Who are you?
I think you know.
Agatha rushes to the body, taking control of the scene, and quietly orders Walter to take their son home, because whatever this is, it's far from over. Later that night, Agatha calls Walter from a lonely phone booth. Her voice is calm, but the news is devastating. The man is dead, and she claims he took his secrets with him. The call ends, but the truth doesn't. Agatha hangs up and walks straight into a psychiatric institute, the very place the dying man pointed her toward. Inside, she steps into his office and learns his name, Dr. Leary. Walter makes a chilling discovery. Hidden within the pages of the book is a coded message, one that points to a specific location. Certain this is no coincidence, Walter calls Robin immediately, leaving a note behind for Agatha. Father and son set off, driven by the fear that the book is still guiding them somewhere terrible. Back at the Institute, Agatha uncovers disturbing evidence. Dr. Leary wasn't just a psychiatrist, he was obsessed with the number 23, just like Walter. The pattern is growing, and it's impossible to ignore. That night, Walter and Robin arrive at the location revealed in the book. What they find stops them cold, a human skeleton buried in the ground. Panic sets in. They flee the scene and race toward the nearest phone booth to call the police. But when authorities arrive, the body is gone. The next morning, Agatha returns to the site with Isaac, then quietly reunites with her family. On the drive home, Walter notices something small but damning, dirt still clinging to Agatha's hand. In that moment, everything clicks. At home, Walter finally confronts her. He accuses Agatha of moving the skeleton and of writing the book itself, because there is only one way the story could mirror his life so perfectly. She knew it all along. Agatha comes clean and accepts that she moved the skeleton before the police arrived, but makes it known to Walter that he was the one who wrote the book. Agatha shows Walter evidence to back it up as she brings out the original copy of the book, amongst many other things, which she took from Dr. Leary's office after visiting the Psychiatric Institute. After seeing all the items that point to him as the author of the book and a killer, Walter gets overwhelmed and runs out of the house towards the hotel where he stayed earlier.
No! Get out of here!
When Walter arrives at the hotel, he rips apart the wallpaper on the wall. Beneath it, he sees the 23rd chapter, which was missing in the book, scribbled on the walls. In the chapter, it is revealed that Walter is Fingerling and that he was Laura's lover. It is made known that Walter was responsible for Laura's death after he caught her having an affair with Jacob Flinch. It is revealed that shortly after Walter had taken Laura's body to be buried, Flinch walked in and got his DNA all over the murder weapon, implicating himself as the killer in the process. As a result, Flinch gets arrested and sentenced to prison. After burying Laura, Walter returns to the hotel room, and there he types out his book, narrating everything he had done, before then penning the last chapter of it on the walls of the room. After putting his guilt and confession into writing, Walter jumps out of his hotel room's window and ends up in a psychiatric institution. When he gets out of the institution, he remembers nothing about his past deeds as he lost his memory in the fall, leading to him living a new life and meeting his wife, Agatha. Soon, Agatha walks into the hotel room and tries to convince Walter that he is now a good person who should let go of the past. Walter disagrees and tells her that he is a murderer who has an innocent man in prison suffering for his crimes. Walter storms out of the room and walks out of the hotel, turns himself in for the murder of Laura, and secures the release of Flinch from prison. After discovering overwhelming and convincing evidence that he is a murderer, Walter did an honorable thing by turning himself in, which in turn set an innocent man that has been punished for his crimes free. What would you have done in Walter's position after losing your memory and later finding out the truth about your bad deeds? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, guys, peace out.